Andrew Wiggins has been a guy who has underachieved in his career. After being traded away from the Minnesota Timberwolves, he now finds himself with the Golden State Warriors. He is in trade rumors, and if he is dealt, well, that kind of renders this video useless. Sad. But let's say he isn't and he plays the 2021 NBA season with the Warriors. Wiggins now is with a winning organization and a team set to compete next season. Wiggins will serve as that third option next to Steph and Klay, and that is the best position for Wiggins to thrive in. In Minnesota, he was looked at to be the man next to Karl-Anthony Towns. Wiggins, prior to getting traded, was actually taking leaps in terms of being able to play make and be an isolation scorer. Now he isn't the best at this, but he showed signs that he is very capable of doing this when he is asked to. Wiggins played in 12 games this season with the Warriors, averaging 19 points, 3.6 assists, 4.6 rebounds on 45% from the field, and 33% from 3. Wiggins gives the Warriors a young 25-year-old athletic slasher and finisher, cutter to the rim, capable isolation scorer and playmaker, respectable three-point shooter, and a solid on-ball defender. Having players that fit your system is so crucial into being contenders. Sometimes you don't need that big 3 stars or being a star-dominant team to compete. Just the right fit of players can do wonders for your team. Just look at the Miami Heat this season. A leader of Jimmy Butler, a young growing star in Bam Adebayo, filled with a whole bunch of shooters and defenders on the team. For what Wiggins gives, he does complement the Warriors system. He's going to operate as that third guy, in which I'm pretty sure he's more than happy in being. Also, for one, once Steph and Klay are on the court, the floor is going to be completely spaced. So Wiggins cutting or him taking it to a defender driving the ball should be much more easier for him than it was in Minnesota. He's also going to be running a lot with these guys in transition, and we all know how dangerous the Warriors are in transition. So Andrew will benefit a lot off Steph passing it to him or even lobbing it up to Wiggins. Wiggins is also a lob threat, and since he is a pretty good as a cutter, this is another thing defenses has to look out for. Steph attracts so much attention, it is crazy. So all Wiggins has to do is capitalize off of ball watching and distracted defenders. He's going to get baskets where he doesn't have to work a lot for. And occasionally, if Steph and Klay goes to the bench, he can step up and give the Warriors some good production, and as mentioned before, he has grown to be a capable isolation scorer and playmaker. He isn't the best or consistent, but it's enough to where you can at least give him the ball time to time and let him work. In the 12 games with the Warriors in ISO situations, Wiggins' percentage scoring there was at 41%, which does show he is capable working there without the Warriors' main guys. He does have a tendency to take questionable shots, but good coaching should be able to clean that up. And even in those games, Wiggins wasn't operating as the main ball handler and was still putting up the same numbers he did in Minnesota. So he will be completely fine here and fits to what the Warriors need. Another thing is he gets to the free throw line roughly around 5 times a game, which isn't encouraging for the role on the Timberwolves, but it's pretty decent for the role he will be in with the Warriors. He can easily sustain being a 20 points per game guy. It's just a matter of how consistent Wiggins can be throughout the entire season. Looking at this play, there's going to be a lot of plays like this where he is in handoff situations into pick and rolls, and he will be looked at to either score or make a pass, in which he is able to make a pass here to Marquise Chris. Golden State's offense is very simplistic, fast-paced, and it's not much waiting around, constant dribbling. There's a lot of flow in which Wiggins should be able to fit in seamlessly. The offense is going to create for Wiggins. Wiggins just has to be at the right spots on the floor. Then there's going to be a lot of looks where Wiggins is looked to catch and shoot, like on this play. Wiggins shot it at 35% in catch and shoot situations for the entire season, and with the Warriors he shot it at 31%. His production knocking down threes is going to be vital. He's going to have to be consistent and shoot a lot of threes. Wiggins is going to get a lot of catch and shoot looks. He very rarely would have to create one on his own. Steph, Draymond will find him when he is open. Wiggins attempted around 6 to 7 threes a game with the Timberwolves, and when he played with the Warriors, attempted 5 threes a game. Both teams he shot at 33%, below the league average. He is respectable to the point where you can't just leave him wide open, but he is also a bit streaky and can't find a lot of consistency shooting it from there. Andrew is going to get a lot of open looks. He's going to have to knock these down consistently, being consistent at a higher percentage. The Warriors may have him be a corner three-point guy, which will benefit him even more as these are the easier three-point shots. He's also going to have to be better knowing what shots to take. Sometimes he likes to do this spin fadeaway shot or pull up for a long two instead of just driving it inside or shooting a three instead. Some of these shots are well into the shot clock too. With the Warriors, he shot it at 33% on mid-range shots, which isn't a good percentage. You can't really rely on him taking mid-range shots. It is good to be an all-around scorer, but you might as well, if you're shooting that percentage, you might as well just drive it in instead of just taking a long contested two. If he was shooting it at like say 45%, yes, encourage him to take it so he could be an all-around scorer that teams would have to respect and have to find ways to defend him. Then his playmaking is going to be key, also utilizing the pick and roll. Here on this play, patient with the ball, calls for a screen. Will Barton here steps over to help the cut in Marquise Chris because Jokic cuts off Wiggins and plays him high. Great patience with the ball, across the court pass, able to locate and perfect pass to the corner for 3. Next play, working in transition, drives the ball inside, able to bring over 2 defenders. Wiggins is a good finisher, probably isn't the best finishing over length, but in the restricted area with the Warriors, shot it at 65%. He drives it and is able to locate and throw a good pass to Lee in the corner. He had 10 assists this game against the Nuggets just by finding shooters, and he'll be even more willing to pass and constantly look when Steph and Klay is back on the floor. Just look at this play. Wiggins gets the ball from a tip out, automatically locks to get it to Steph, and Steph just makes this ridiculous shot. Jeez. Wiggins will be even more happy throughout the season scanning and finding an open Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. Then there are some plays in isolation, capable but sometimes isolates with no plan. Here, isolated against Anthony Davis, drives to the paint, and then poor jump pass to a turnover. Does struggle being a consistent decision maker at times. Now, Andrew's defense suffers a lot due to his strength, and he really hasn't bulked up to the point where he can be physical with players and isn't always locked in over the course of an entire game. When he is locked in, however, he can play some really good on-ball defense and do his best contesting shots and making players work for those shots. If there is ever a coaching staff that can get the most out of Wiggins on the defensive end, it's the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors always are able to adjust and make on-the-fly defensive adjustments if needed. The Warriors during their championship teams had the best defensive rotations in the league. Like, everyone on that Warriors team was coached to be disciplined, knowing when to help and when not to help, trapping a specific offensive player, when to double team, and Wiggins is going to have to learn from that defensive system. Wiggins can probably bulk up a bit more, then he has long arms, and he should get much more steals and be effective stripping the ball and playing the passing lanes. He is a decent, solid on-ball defender than he is given credit for. He's good at standing his ground, contesting shots, and putting up a fight, but when it comes to playing overall team defense, the stuff mentioned before with rotations, knowing when to help, and all that off-ball stuff, fighting through screens, and giving consistent effort, that is an area where he is very poor at. But as stated, the Warriors are the best team to help him better understand how to utilize his strengths to make the team better defensively. Like here on this play, Terrence Davis gets a switch on Wiggins. This is actually a poor shot by Davis pulling up here, but Wiggins' length is able to completely take this shot away. Another play here is just the wingspan of Wiggins stealing the ball from a LeBron James pass. Then this type of defense leads to easy offense. Then here on this play, gets caught on the screen, still hustles here and meets Rajon Rondo at the rim, and he blocks the shot. That's the effort you want from Wiggins consistently. Wiggins' defense will make or break him. How much effort he gives and how much he is able to adjust to their defensive schemes will really help the team. He's surrounded by a great coaching staff and great defenders around him like Klay and Draymond, and even Steph to teach him. Also, Wiggins does have the physical tools. Prior to Golden State, Wiggins really wasn't on great defensive teams, and when your team lacks effort defensively, it's almost like, why even ball, or why even try playing defense? If my entire team isn't playing defense, why should I? And that's how it was like for Wiggins on the Timberwolves. So hopefully the Warriors can put a fire into Wiggins and keep him playing consistent defense. Since he won't be a main option, hopefully more of his effort is asserted on the defensive end next season. That will wrap it up for this video. If you did like the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and any support in that is truly appreciated. I do more breakdowns like these on the channel, so if you like the video, you will like my other content. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video.